Hello. Today is December 15th, 2024, and you're tuned into the While We Still Can podcast. We are going to talk today about the next chapter, chapter 3 in our book on Tyranny by Timothy Snyder. And if you're curious about the details of the book, just go back a couple episodes. But it's a great book to keep in mind, especially now with all the changes we're going through here in the United States. And watching what some of the media companies are doing, like we talked about obeying in advance a while back. But today we're going to move forward on chapter 3. And I'm Lisa.
Tina.
And welcome. We're glad you're here. All right, so chapter 3 is titled Beware the One-Party State. The parties that remade states and suppressed rivals were not omnipotent from the start. They exploited a historic moment to make political life impossible for their opponents. So support the multi-party system and defend the rules of democratic elections. Vote in local and state elections while you can. You hear that, Tina? While you still can.
Yeah.
Consider running for office.
Okay, that's a reoccurring theme. I'm kind of busy. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so moving on. Thomas Jefferson probably never said that eternal vigilance is the price of liberty, but other Americans of his era certainly did. When we think of this saying today, we imagine our own righteous vigilance directed outward against misguided and hostile others. We see ourselves as a city on the hill, a stronghold of democracy, looking out for threats that come from abroad. But the sense of the saying was entirely different. That human nature is such that American democracy must be defended from Americans who would exploit its freedom to bring about its end. The American abolitionist Wendell Phillips did in fact say that, quote-unquote, eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. He also added that the manna of popular liberty must be gathered each day, or it is rotten. The record of modern European democracy confirmed the wisdom of these words. The 20th century saw earnest attempts to extend the franchise and establish durable democracies. Yet, the democracies that arose after the First World War and the Second often collapsed when a single party seized power in some combination of an election and of a coup d'etat. A party emboldened by a favorable election result or motivated by ideology, or both, might change the system from within. When fascists or Nazis or communists did well in elections in the 1930s and 40s, what followed was some combination of spectacle, repression, and salami tactics, slicing off layers of opposition one by one. Most people were distracted, some were imprisoned, and others were outmatched. The hero of a David Lodge novel says that you don't know when you make love for the last time that you're making love for the last time. Voting is like that. Some of the Germans who voted for the Nazi Party in 1932 no doubt understood that this might be the last meaningful free election for some time, but most did not. Some of the Czechs and Slovaks who voted for the Czechoslovak Communist Party in 1946 probably realized that they were voting for the end of democracy, but most assumed that they would have another chance. No doubt the Russians who voted in 1990 did not think that this would be the last free and fair election in their country's history, which thus far it has been. We just have to stop there because,
it's every single thing that we just fucking talked about.
I just want to kind of throw this book and walk away. Shit. Okay.
No doubt. The book. Too bad no one knows how to fucking read anymore.
I'm giving these books away. No.
Yeah.
Oh, God dang it.
Just read a book.
And now we're just to the point where it's like, F it, I told you so. Because what are we going to do about it now? Okay.
I want to watch you be scared now.
No doubt, the Russians who voted in 1990 did not think that this would be the last free and fair election in their country's history, which, thus far, it has been. Any election can be the last, or at least the last in a lifetime of a person casting the vote. The Nazis remained in power until they lost a world war in 1945. The Czechoslovak communists until their system collapsed in 1989. The Russian oligarchy, established after the 1990 elections, continues to function and promotes foreign policy designed to destroy democracy elsewhere. Again. Does the history...
Tim. Oh, Timmy.
Who in the world's more frustrated right now than freaking Tim Snyder?
He looks so tired.
He's
Every
like...
time I see him, he's like...
Do I have to tell you again?
I've written
you do,
several
Tim.
books.
People are stupid.
I teach a class.
Does the history of tyranny apply to the United States? Certainly the early Americans who spoke of eternal vigilance would have thought so. The logic of the system they devised was to mitigate the consequences of our real imperfections, not to celebrate our imaginary perfection. We certainly face, as did the ancient Greeks, the problem of oligarchy, ever more threatening as globalization increases differences in wealth. The odd American idea that giving money to political campaigns is free speech means that the very rich have far more speech, and so in effect far more voting power than other citizens. Thank you, Citizens United. We believe that we have checks and balances, but have rarely faced a situation like the present, when the less popular of the two parties controls every lever of power at the federal level, as well as the majority of state houses. The party that exercises such control proposes few policies that are popular with the society at large, and several that are generally unpopular, and thus must either fear democracy or weaken it. Another early American proverb held that, quote, where annual elections end, tyranny begins, unquote. Will we come to see one of our own elections, much as Russians see the elections of 1990, or the Czechs the elections of 1946, or the Germans elections of 1932? This, for now, depends on us. Much needs to be done to fix the gerrymandered system so that each citizen has one equal vote, and so that each vote can be simply counted by a fellow citizen. We need paper ballots because they cannot be tampered with remotely and can always be recounted. This sort of work can be done at a local and state level. Any future elections will be the test of American tradition. And this book, he published this in 2017. And we very well may have just seen the last election.
And every time we say something like that, people are like, yeah,
no,
okay.
It won't happen here.
Like, why do you think, like, I don't want to be right. I really love to be right. But this is like, I'm cool if I'm wrong.
I want deeply in my heart to be wrong about all this.
And no, and we just, like, that's exactly what we just.
Yeah. he just described everything we just went through. Like, people aren't paying attention, or it can't happen here, and he's like, yeah, assholes, guess what? That's exactly what they thought in Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia.
Well, the thing is like, for one, we've gotten lazy, we've been spoiled. But like Andrea Chalupa was talking about, she was like, society, like this happens all around the world, and Americans just have not had to do it in
We're
a
not
long
special
time. And we really, I feel like, since we capitalize on individualism and doing independence and but it's not just us, guys. So I don't know, I don't know. But,
all right, so that was chapter 3, and we're going to move forward on chapter 4, which is called Take Responsibility for the Face of the World. We'll hit it up another day.
We already have the whole weight of the world on our shoulders. We'll wait for that. We could give it a good 24 hours. I need to sit and soak that in, because wow. Timmy told us.
He told us. I told you.
That was that's why we did this podcast. Because of Timmy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dr. Snyder. Okay.
Okay. Daddy Snyder. I'm just kidding. Okay. He does have that salt and pepper that I like.
Salt and pepper? What?
I do. I like a little gray in there.
Oh, I was thinking of the band. Like, what a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Mighty good man.
I mean, I like that too. I was talking about the hair.
Got a body like Arnold and a Tim Snyder face. There you go.
Ooh. No, Arnold's a little
Well,
bulky.
that song's 30 years old, so we'll give it.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
well,
he's got a body like, what's that kid's name? Axe Boy. We talked about him last episode.
What was his
TikTok
name?
Axe guy.
Your TikTok boyfriend?
Yeah. We're so close, I can't remember his name. Yeah.
Well, you better enjoy him because TikTok's over January 20th. You guys, hope you're happy.
Yeah, farewell TikTok.
Deporting everybody and no TikTok. Y'all are fucked. Okay.
On that note.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Week after week as we, talk about how we're all screwed. It's kind of fun, though, isn't it?
We'll be state TV soon.
Yo, if you hear us pop on and we're like, we take back everything we said, we're trying to avoid a jail, okay? That's what's happening. Or
maybe if we start be having some, like, fancy-ass shit on, maybe we be getting paid $100,000.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my Birkin bag, and let me tell you why everything I said in the last, year was wrong. I would never do that, by the way. I'd be like, keep your Birkin bag. I don't need a purse, thanks. I'd rather keep my dignity.
I don't take care of my shit anyways. Okay.
All right, then.
Bye.
Goodbye.